Time is the unfair advantage. Talent opens doors. Follow-up keeps them open. Most great ideas die because people stop after the first no, the first ghost, the first maybe. This book hands one brutal truth. Consistent execution, the small, stubborn acts done again and again, beats talent, luck, and inspiration every single time. Listen hard, learn the rules, do the next follow-up, repeat. Follow-up wins. Chapter 1. Stop waiting, start following up. You have a choice. Sit and hope, or move and convert. Most people pick hope. Most people lose. Do the next thing. Don't wait. That sentence is the engine of this chapter. Say it now. Say it again. Make it so loud in your head that inertia stops listening. Waiting is passive. Waiting is polite. Waiting is a luxury reserved for the gifted and the lucky. If that describes you, fine. For everyone else, waiting is a hidden tax on opportunity. It eats time. It eats momentum. It eats the deal. Here's the fact. Ideas don't pay invoices. Replies do. Calls do. Reminders do. Follow-up converts silence into action. Contact is conversion. Say it. Repeat it until it becomes a habit. Look at the sales reps, the ones who close, not the flashy closers, the steady closers, the quiet grinders. They keep touching the prospect after everyone else has given up. Statistics show most deals close after the 5th to 7th contact. 5th to 7th, most people quit at contact 3. That gap is the market. That gap is the moat. That gap is where winners live. You don't need their permission. You don't need them to say yes on the first try. You only need the discipline to persist. You have a choice. Be the person who stops at maybe, or be the person who keeps creating reasons to say yes. That's the key. Now, how this actually works. No theory, no hype, pure execution. Create a 7-touch sequence for every lead. 7 touches, 7 chances. 7 times, 7 wins. Here is the sequence. Simple, relentless, effective. Touch 1, the introduction. 1 short email or message, 1 sentence of value, 1 clear ask. No fluff, no stories, precision wins. Touch 2, the reminder. 2 days later, 1 line, restate the value, add a tiny proof point, ask again. Short wins. Touch 3, the human break. A call or voice note. Human sound cuts through digital noise. State why this matters now, then stop talking. Touch 4, the value drop. Send something useful, a case study, a stat, a 1-page insight. Give first, then ask. Touch 5, the social touch. Engage publicly, comment intelligently, then follow up privately. Familiarity breeds response. Touch 6, the demo or walkthrough. 10 minutes, time-boxed, low pressure, high clarity. Make it easy to say yes. Touch 7, the final ask, the breakup message. Clear, respectful, direct. Yes, no, who should I speak to instead? That's it. Run this sequence for every lead, every time. Scripts matter. Keep them short. Test them. Save what works. Rotate what doesn't. Say less. Give more. Ask simply. Track everything. Date, channel, result. The tool doesn't matter. The habit does. When someone goes silent, assume they're busy, not rejecting you. Busy people respond to relevance. Add 1 new piece of value per touch. 1, that's enough. It's not about charm. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. Talent opens doors. Follow-up closes them. You have a choice. Schedule your follow-ups the moment a lead enters your world. Automate the basics. Personalize the important. Systems beat mood. Systems follow through. Keep a swipe file. Reuse winning lines. Repeat success. Momentum compounds. Remember this example. A regional account manager followed a dead silent prospect through 6 structured touches. On touch 6,
The prospect replied. They were waiting on internal approval. The data had arrived. The deal closed in 2 weeks. Most people quit at 3. Winners stay to 7. You have a choice. Build your 7-touch sequence today. Write the scripts, schedule the reminders, run the process. Do the next thing. Don't wait. You've chosen motion over hesitation. Now it's time to turn motion into power.
Chapter 2. Make repetition your strategy. You have a choice. Show up or hide. Repeat or rely on a miracle. Repeat, refine, repeat. That is the strategy, not inspiration, not a lucky break, not a single great day. Repetition builds muscle. Repetition builds trust. Repetition builds results. Listen closely. Habits are built in small, boring steps. Momentum compounds. One small action repeated becomes inevitable change. Show up again. Show up again. That is the work. Here's the blunt truth. Talent creates attention. Repetition creates results. Talent will get applause once. Repetition will pay your bills forever. You don't need their permission. You don't need their validation. You need discipline. It's not about flashes of genius. It's about daily discipline. That's the key. Reality check. Content creators who post predictable, small offers, brief value posts, a tiny ask, a clear CTA, see steady growth. The algorithm notices consistency. Humans notice consistency. Predictability breeds trust. A micro offer every week becomes a habit for the audience. A habit for the audience becomes sales. Show up again. Repeat the message. Repeat the value. Repeat the ask. You want the drill? Do this now. A 21-day micro follow. 3 lines, 1 value, 1 ask. Log the replies. Simple, brutal, effective. Here is the exact formula. Day 1 to day 21. Each day, pick 1 target. Could be a lead, could be a prospect, could be a past client, could be a publication, could be a potential partner. Write 3 sentences only. Sentence 1, value. 1 concrete benefit, 1 line, no fluff. Example, sent a 1-page ROI summary that shows 12% lift in 30 days. Clear, useful. Sentence 2, relevance. Why this matters now. 1 line. Example, this matters if budget planning starts next month. Short. Sentence 3, the ask. 1 simple ask, 1 clear next step. Example, can this help you? Yes or no. Keep it binary, easy to reply. Send, track, log date, track method, track outcome, measure replies, measure opens, measure conversions. Daily micro, massive macro. Why 3 sentences? Because people scan. Short messages get read. Short messages get replied to. Short messages lower resistance. Short messages keep you in the room. Repeat the same structure until patterns appear, then refine. Repeat, refine, repeat. Do not over-personalize at first. Personalize where it matters. Use a template for speed. Use a variable for the line that references the prospect. That is personalization without paralysis. Systems beat mood. Systems beat doubt. Systems beat perfection. Create a swipe file. Save subject lines that forced opens. Save 3-sentence templates that forced replies. Rotate them. Test headlines. Test asks. Record what works. Repeat what wins. Abandon what doesn't. You have a choice. Send 1 perfect long email and hope, or send 100 short, powerful touches and build momentum. That's the key. Now, how to keep this from burning out? First, time box the work. 15 minutes a day, 3 sentences for 10 targets in 15 minutes. That is the daily practice. It fits the schedule. It beats the excuse. Second, automate the obvious. Use tools for scheduling reminders and for logging activity. Do not automate personalization. Do not automate the human voice. Keep the high-touch parts real. Automate the low-touch parts that are purely administrative. Systems follow through. Third, rotate the value. One day, a quick stat. One day, a short case snippet. One day, a tactical tip. One day, a link to a brief resource. Do not repeat the exact same value every day. Add one new small value per touch. One new thing. One new reason to reply. Fourth, measure the lift. After 7 days, analyze. Which lines got opens? Which asks got replies? Which message led to a meeting? Keep the winners. Repeat them. That is the cycle. Repeat, refine, repeat. Here is how to escalate without losing dignity. If no reply after 5 micro touches, shift the approach. Move to a voice note. Move to a call. Move to a content mention where you add value publicly. Persistence does not mean spam. Persistence means escalating the method while keeping respect. Ask simply, yes, no, or who. That final ask honors time and creates closure. You have a choice. Be loud for a day or be steady for a year. Loud fades, steady multiplies. This method works because of psychology. Repetition lowers friction. Repetition builds expectation. Repetition trains people to look for your name. When your name appears, they anticipate value. Anticipation becomes response. Response becomes revenue. Repeat the sequence. Repeat the value. Repeat the ask. Show up again. Now let me give you a real example you'll remember. A freelance consultant lost a pitch. Instead of disappearing, they did a 21-day micro-follow for the client. Each message was 3 lines. Each one added a new data point. Each one asked a simple question. On day 12, the client asked for a budget revision. On day 15, the contract was reopened. The consultant closed a deal that had been declared dead. The only variable was repetition. The only tactic was discipline. It's not about being brilliant, it's about being consistent. That's the key. Your tactical checklist now. Pick 10 targets, draft 3-sentence templates, schedule 15 minutes daily, send, log, measure, repeat for 21 days, refine winners, scale what works. You have a choice. Do this or wait for luck. That's the difference between those who grow and those who watch growth happen to others. You built the muscle to move. You built the habit to persist. Now you need a mechanism so follow-up happens even when you don't. Systems make stubbornness reliable. You mastered repetition. Now let's talk about the true engine behind sustained action.
Chapter 3. Systems beat sparks. You have a choice. Wait to feel motivated or build something that works even when motivation disappears. Systemize the stubbornness. That sentence is the spine of this chapter. Read it again. Systemize the stubbornness. Because inspiration is unreliable. Mood is unpredictable. Energy lies. Systems do not. Inspiration shows up when it wants. Systems show up on time. Every time. That's the key. Most people think progress comes from sparks, a burst of energy, a flash of confidence, a sudden wave of clarity. That's a lie that keeps people inconsistent. Sparks burn hot and die fast. Systems burn low and last forever. You don't need their permission. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to be inspired. You need a system. It's not about motivation, it's about discipline. It's not about feeling powerful, it's about building process. It's not about starting strong, it's about finishing consistently. Here is the brutal truth. If your follow-up depends on how you feel that day, you don't have a strategy, you have a hope. Hope does not scale. Hope does not repeat. Hope does not close deals. Systems follow through. That phrase matters. Say it again. Systems follow through. People forget. Calendars fail. Energy dips. Systems keep going. That's why businesses win when individuals burn out. The system carries the load. Look at the founder example. A startup was losing customers during onboarding, not because the product was bad, not because the offer was weak, because follow-up was inconsistent. Emails were sent sometimes, reminders went out when someone remembered, calls happened when energy allowed. The founder built a simple automated onboarding system, scheduled reminders, timed value emails, automatic check-ins at day 3, day 7, day 14. The result? Churn dropped by half. Not because the team worked harder, because the system followed through where the team couldn't. Systems follow through. You need to stop asking, "Do I feel like following up today?" and start asking, "What does the system say happens today?" That's the shift. That's the key. Now, let's build your system. Simple, practical, no complexity theater. You need a 3-tiered follow-up system. 3 tiers, 3 levels of effort, 3 layers of reliability. Tier 1, manual high-value touches. These are the moments that matter most. Big prospects, warm leads, high-ticket conversations, key partners. These touches are human, personal, thoughtful. Examples: personal calls, voice notes, custom Loom videos, personalized insight emails, one-to-one demos. These touches cannot be automated. They shouldn't be. They carry trust. They build relationships. They move big decisions. But here's the rule. Even these manual touches must be scheduled. Put them in the calendar. Put them in the CRM. If it's not scheduled, it's imaginary. Systemize the stubbornness. Tier 2, semi-automated value drops. This is where leverage lives. These are pre-written messages triggered by behavior or time, but with light personalization. Examples: case study sequences, educational email series, value newsletters, follow-up content links, objection-handling emails. You write these once, you reuse them forever. You personalize the opening line. The value stays consistent. This tier keeps you present without draining your energy. It keeps momentum alive while you focus on high-value work. Systems follow through. Tier 3, automated deadline nudges. This tier protects revenue. This tier creates urgency. This tier closes loops. Examples: just checking in reminders, deadline countdown emails, proposal expiry notices, final call reminders, contract follow-ups. These messages don't need emotion, they need timing. Automation is perfect here. When the deadline hits, the message goes out. No hesitation, no guilt, no forgetting. Set it, then do it. That's the rule. You design the system once, then you let it run. Now, here's where most people sabotage themselves. They overbuild. They chase complexity. They design a system so fancy they never launch it. Don't do that. Start ugly. Start simple. Start functional. A spreadsheet, a calendar, an email tool. That's enough. Your first system should answer 3 questions. Who needs follow-up? When does it happen? What gets sent? If those 3 are clear, the system works. You have a choice. Build a system you use or dream about a system you never finish. That's the key. Here's your tactical drill. Do this today. Step 1. List your follow-up types: prospects, clients, past leads, partnerships. Step 2. Assign each type to a tier. High-value humans go to Tier 1. Warm leads go to Tier 2. Deadlines go to Tier 3. Step 3. Write the messages. 1 personal script, 3 reusable value messages, 2 deadline nudges. That's 6 messages, not 60. 6. Step 4. Schedule everything. Calendar for Tier 1, email tool for Tier 2 and 3. Step 5. Test for 14 days. Do not judge early. Let the system run. Set it, then do it. This system removes decision fatigue. It removes excuses. It removes emotional inconsistency.
You don't wake up asking what to do. The system tells you. You don't need their permission to follow up. You don't need to apologize for reminders. You don't need to explain consistency. Professional follow-up is respect. Silence is neglect. It's not about effort, it's about structure. It's not about hustle, it's about architecture. It's not about sparks, it's about systems. Systemize the stubbornness. Because when motivation fades, the system keeps moving. When energy drops, the system keeps touching. When doubt creeps in, the system keeps executing. That is how momentum survives. That is how trust compounds. That is how revenue becomes predictable. You've learned to follow up. You've learned to repeat. Now you've learned to systemize. You no longer rely on how you feel. You rely on what you built. And now that the system is in place, it's time to push past where most people quit.
Chapter 4. The 7 Contact Rule. Ignore at your peril. You have a choice. Quit early or win late. Go past their quit point. That line is not advice, it's a warning. Because the market is not crowded with talent, it's crowded with people who stop too soon. Most people quit at contact 3. 3 emails, 3 messages, 3 attempts. Then silence, then excuses, then stories about they weren't interested. That's a lie. Silence is not rejection. Silence is delay. Silence is distraction. Silence is priority conflict. Silence is opportunity wearing a disguise. The math is clear. The data is brutal. Most deals close after the 5th, 6th, or 7th contact. Some close on 8, some on 9. Very few close on 1. 9 is the new yes. Say it again. 9 is the new yes. If you stop at 3, you are not unlucky, you are undisciplined. That's the key. It's not about being annoying. It's not about being pushy. It's not about pressure. It's not about charm. It's about discipline. It's not about persuasion. It's about persistence. You don't need their permission to follow up. You don't need to apologize for reminding. You don't need to feel guilty for being consistent. Professionals follow up. Amateurs hope. Go past their quit point. That phrase matters because every industry has an average quit point. Sales reps quit early. Freelancers disappear. Founders move on. Creators stop posting. And the person who goes one step further inherits the reward. Here's what actually happens in the real world. A prospect sees your first message. They're interested, but busy. Second message, they mean to reply, but don't. Third message, they plan to come back later. Later never comes. Not because you're irrelevant, because life intervened. Then you stop, and someone else shows up on contact 6. Someone else adds value on contact 7. Someone else closes on contact 8. 9 is the new yes. Real example. Remember this. A deal looks dead on day 10. No replies, no movement. Most people archive it. A disciplined operator doesn't. They add a new piece of value, a short insight, a relevant stat, a fresh case study. They follow up again. Contact 8 gets a reply. Contact 9 gets a meeting. The deal closes 2 weeks later. Why? Because timing shifted. Budget cleared, attention returned, and the persistent person was still there. Go past their quit point. This is not theory, this is how markets work. Buyers move slower than sellers. Decisions take time. Follow-up bridges that gap. Now let's make this practical. No guessing, no emotion, just process. You must track contact number. Every single lead, every single follow-up. If you don't know which contact you're on, you're flying blind. Blind people quit early. Disciplined people count.
Use a CRM, use a spreadsheet, use notes if you must, but track. Contact number, date, channel, value added. Because here's the rule you must follow. Add value every touch. Say it. Add value every touch. Never send just checking in without substance. Never repeat the same message twice. Never follow up empty-handed. Every contact must bring something new. Examples of value: a data point, a short case study, a relevant insight, a new angle, an introduction, a clarification, a deadline. One new thing per touch, that's enough. Add value every touch. That's how persistence becomes professional. That's how follow-up becomes welcomed instead of ignored. Now the structure. Contacts 1 to 3, awareness. Contacts 4 to 6, reinforcement. Contacts 7 to 9, decision pressure. Most people never reach reinforcement. That's why they never reach decisions. Contacts 1 to 3 introduce you. Contacts 4 to 6 prove you. Contacts 7 to 9 close you. 9 is the new yes. You have a choice. Stop at awareness or push into reinforcement and closure. That's the key. Let's break down the discipline. Contact 1, introduction plus clear value. Contact 2, reminder plus small proof. Contact 3, human touch, call or voice note. Contact 4, case study or result. Contact 5, insight or objection handler. Contact 6, demo, walkthrough, or sample. Contact 7, deadline reminder. Contact 8, final value add plus urgency. Contact 9, breakup or referral ask. This is not harassment. This is structure. This is clarity. This is respect for the process. If someone replies at contact 2, great, you stop. If someone replies at contact 5, great, you adjust. If someone replies at contact 8, you close. The point is not to force 9. The point is to be willing to go there. Most people aren't. Go past their quit point. Now let's deal with fear, because that's what really stops people. Fear of being ignored, fear of being annoying, fear of being judged. That fear is selfish. It's about you, not them. Your job is to help them make a decision, yes or no. Silence is not a decision. Silence is unfinished business. Follow-up creates closure. Closure creates clarity. Clarity creates progress. You don't need their permission to seek clarity. It's not about confidence, it's about discipline. Here's your tactical drill. Do not skip this. Step 1. Open your CRM or list. Pick 10 leads you stopped following up with. Step 2. Look at the contact number. If it's below 7, the job is not done. Step 3. Design the next 3 touches, each with one new value. Step 4. Schedule them now. Dates, times, channels. Step 5. Execute without emotion. Add value every touch. That's the rule. Track the results. Watch what happens when you stop quitting early. Watch replies appear from dead leads. Watch momentum return. 9 is the new yes. Remember this forever. The market rewards the person who stays in the conversation longer than anyone else. You've learned to move. You've learned to repeat. You've learned to systemize. Now you've learned to persist past the average. You are no longer average. And once you understand persistence, you must learn speed, because following up late is almost as bad as not following up at all.
Chapter 5. Fail faster, follow faster. You have a choice. Move slow and protect your ego, or move fast and build skill. Fail fast, follow faster. That is the law of momentum. Speed beats perfection every time. The market does not reward the most polished. It rewards the most responsive. Perfection waits, speed learns. That's the key. Most people are not stuck because they're bad. They're stuck because they're slow. Slow to follow up, slow to adjust, slow to ask why something didn't work. They wait until things feel clear. Clarity comes after action, not before. You don't need their permission to learn. You don't need to be right. You need to move. It's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about shortening the distance between mistake and correction. That distance is where growth lives. Fail fast, follow faster. When you follow up quickly, you expose reality. You find out what the real objection is. You hear the real hesitation. You discover what actually matters, not what you guessed mattered. Slow follow-up hides the truth. Fast follow-up reveals it. That's why speed is leverage. Look at high-performing product teams. The best ones don't spend months debating features. They ship small, they test daily, they gather feedback nightly, they reposition in weeks while competitors wait quarters. Iterate today. That phrase matters because tomorrow is too late. By tomorrow, the signal is gone, the emotion has cooled, the context has shifted. Fast feedback is clean feedback. A team launches a feature, users hesitate. That night, the team reviews usage data and feedback. They adjust copy, they tweak onboarding, they clarify positioning. By the end of the week, conversion doubles. Same talent, same product, different speed. Fail fast, follow faster. Now, apply this to follow-up. Most people treat lost opportunities like funerals. They mourn silently. They archive the thread. They tell themselves a story about why it didn't work. Then they repeat the same mistake 10 more times. Disciplined operators do the opposite. They follow up immediately, not to convince, not to argue, not to defend, to learn. You have a choice. Protect your ego or sharpen your weapon. That's the key. Here is the single most powerful follow-up question you can ask after a lost opportunity. What was missing? That's it. 4 words. No justification, no explanation, no pressure. What was missing? This question does 3 things. First, it disarms defensiveness. You're not asking for a sale, you're asking for insight. Second, it surfaces the real objection, not the polite excuse, the actual gap. Third, it gives you data you can use immediately. 1 question, 10 improvements. Say it again. 1 question, 10 improvements. Because every answer you receive should be applied to the next 10 follow-ups. That's how learning compounds. Someone says, timing wasn't right. Translation, urgency was weak. Add urgency next time. Someone says, too expensive. Translation, value wasn't clear. Lead with ROI earlier. Someone says, not a priority. Translation, problem framing failed. Reframe the pain. Someone says, we went another direction. Translation, differentiation was unclear. Sharpen positioning. Feedback is a gift. Silence is expensive. Fast feedback saves time. Iterate today. Now, here's where most people freeze. They're afraid to ask because they're afraid of hearing the truth. That fear is costing you months. You don't need their permission to learn. You don't need their approval to improve. You need the discipline to ask and adjust. It's not about confidence, it's about discipline. Let's build the loop. Every opportunity, won or lost, must trigger a follow-up action. If won, what almost stopped this deal? If lost, what was missing? Those answers go into a simple log. Create a friction log. 3 columns: objection, frequency, and adjustment made. Review it weekly. Patterns will appear. Patterns tell you what to fix. That's the key. Speed matters here. Send the diagnostic follow-up within 24 hours, while the conversation is fresh, while the memory is clear, while the emotional context still exists. Wait a week and the answer becomes generic. Wait a month and it disappears. Fail fast, follow faster.
Now let's talk about offer pivots. Most people pivot too late. They wait until revenue collapses. They wait until confidence is gone. They wait until frustration forces change. Fast operators pivot early, small, quiet, constantly. They change headlines, they change examples, they change order of value, they change follow-up timing. They do not burn everything down. They adjust one variable at a time. That's how you learn without chaos. Here's the rule. Change one thing per cycle. If response rate is low, change the opening line. If meetings are booked but not closed, change the value proof. If follow-ups stall after demo, change post-demo sequence. One change, 10 repetitions. Measure. One question, 10 improvements. Now, let's address perfectionism, because that's the silent killer here. Perfectionism is procrastination in a suit. People say, "I'm refining." What they mean is, "I'm afraid to be wrong." You have a choice: be polished and invisible, or be imperfect and learning. The market rewards learners, not planners. That's the key. Fast follow-up also signals professionalism. It shows attention, it shows seriousness, it shows respect. People trust operators who move quickly. Slow responses signal hesitation. Hesitation kills momentum. You don't need to write essays. You don't need to solve everything. You need to respond while the window is open. Fail fast, follow faster. Here's your tactical drill. Do this immediately. Step 1, identify your last 5 lost opportunities. Step 2, send the diagnostic follow-up now. One sentence, one question. What was missing? Step 3, log every response. Step 4, identify the top 1 or 2 recurring gaps. Step 5, update your next 10 follow-ups to address those gaps directly. That's it. Do not overthink it. Do not justify yourself. Do not defend. Listen, adjust, execute. Iterate today. This is how you compress learning. This is how you outperform people with more experience. This is how you turn rejection into leverage. You fail faster so you can succeed sooner. You have a choice. Repeat the same mistake slowly or improve rapidly through feedback. You now move. You now repeat. You now systemize. You now persist. And now you learn at speed. But speed alone isn't enough. You also need precision. Small actions done consistently, done deliberately.
Chapter 6. Micro actions multiply. You have a choice. Swing big and disappear, or act small and compound. Tiny hits, heavy totals. That is not a slogan. That is how momentum is built in the real world. Not with grand gestures, not with dramatic moves, with small actions done consistently, deliberately, and without drama. Most people think progress requires boldness, big emails, long messages, heavy explanations, massive effort. That belief is why they burn out and vanish. Small beats bold when consistent. That's the key. Micro actions work because they lower resistance for you and for them. A one-line note is easy to send. A short link is easy to read. A brief insight is easy to absorb. Micro actions keep the conversation alive without exhausting either side. Tiny hits, heavy totals. Here's the mistake people make. They wait until they have something important to say, something impressive, something complete. While they wait, silence grows, momentum dies, opportunity cools. You don't need their permission to be helpful. You don't need a perfect reason to follow up. You need discipline. It's not about being impressive, it's about being present. It's not about volume, it's about consistency. It's not about bold moves, it's about daily discipline. Micro now, macro later. Say it again, micro now, macro later. Look at how real relationships work. Trust is not built in one conversation. It's built in many small moments. A helpful note, a timely reminder, a relevant insight.
Each one adds a brick. Eventually, there's a structure. That's how follow-up wins, brick by brick. Let's talk about a real example. An account manager was about to lose a long-term client. Engagement was dropping, replies were slow, renewal looked unlikely. Instead of sending one big save the account email, the manager did something smarter. They sent 3 micro reports over 1 month. Report 1, a 1-page usage snapshot. Report 2, a short comparison showing improvement over time. Report 3, a brief insight highlighting an overlooked win. Each message was short, each added value, each required minimal attention. The client renewed, not because of persuasion, not because of pressure, because of presence. Micro now, macro later. That's the power of micro actions. They stack, they compound, they create continuity. Now let's make this practical. No theory, no fluff. You need a micro-touch system. A micro-touch is one small, valuable action that takes less than 2 minutes to send and less than 1 minute to consume. Examples: a single relevant stat, a short case study link, a pull quote from a result, a quick insight, a reminder with context, a short win you noticed. 1 line, 1 link, 1 idea. Tiny hits, heavy totals. You must stop thinking every follow-up needs to close. Micro actions don't close. They warm, they remind, they reinforce. Closing becomes easier because staying present removes friction. You have a choice. Disappear between big moves or stay visible with small ones. That's the key. Now, here's the tactical drill. Create a swipe file of 5 micro-touch templates. 5, not 50. Why 5? Because variety without complexity wins. Here are 5 categories you should include. 1, the insight touch. A short observation, 1 sentence. Example: noticed teams using X reduced Y by 18%. Thought this might be useful. 2, the proof touch. A result or case snippet. Example: quick example, client cut onboarding time in half using this. 3, the resource touch. A link or asset. Example: this 1-page breakdown explains the approach clearly. 4, the reminder touch. Contextual follow-up. Example: circling back on this since timing matters before next month. 5, the question touch. A simple check-in. Example: does this solve the issue you mentioned, or is something else missing? Short, direct, useful. Rotate and repeat. That's the rule. Rotate and repeat. Do not invent new messages every time. Use what works. Rotate templates, change the variable line, keep the structure. This is how consistency becomes sustainable. Most people fail here because they confuse effort with effectiveness. They write long messages and send fewer of them. You will send short messages and send more of them. That's how you win. Tiny hits, heavy totals. Now let's talk about frequency. Micro actions allow you to follow up more often without annoyance. Why? Because each touch brings value. Each touch respects time. Each touch feels intentional. 1 micro touch every few days keeps you top of mind. Not desperate, not pushy, present. Presence compounds. You don't need their permission to stay relevant. You don't need to ask if it's okay to follow up. You just need to add value. It's not about aggression, it's about discipline. Now, here's an important rule. Micro actions only work if they're logged and reviewed. Track which micro touch got replies, which got opens, which led to meetings. Patterns will appear. Some micro touches will outperform others. When they do, double down, refine them, use them more. Repeat, refine, repeat. That's the key. Here's where people sabotage themselves again. They stop too early. They send 1 micro touch, don't get a reply, and assume it failed. No, micro actions are cumulative. 1 brick does not make a wall. 10 bricks start something.
20 bricks change perception. Micro now, macro later. Let's address ego, because ego hates small actions. Ego wants big wins, big gestures, big recognition. Discipline wants results. You have a choice: feed ego or feed outcomes. Tiny hits feel impressive until they add up. Then they look obvious in hindsight. Every overnight success is a graveyard of micro actions no one noticed. That's the truth. Now, your assignment. Build your 5 micro-touch templates today. Save them, name them, use them. Then choose 10 contacts. Rotate 1 micro-touch every few days. Log responses. Adjust. Rotate and repeat. That's the key. This approach works in sales. It works in partnerships. It works in content. It works in leadership. Anywhere consistency matters, micro-actions multiply. You've learned to move. You've learned to repeat. You've learned to systemize. You've learned to persist. You've learned to move fast. Now you've learned to move small, on purpose. Because the person who masters micro-actions stays in the conversation long enough to win. And once you stay long enough, something powerful happens. Returns start showing up where no one is looking.
Chapter 7. The Quiet ROI of Persistence. Persistence is misunderstood. People think it's loud, aggressive, pushy, desperate. That's wrong. Real persistence is quiet, controlled, intentional, and that's why it works. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. The biggest returns in business don't come from the loud moves. They come from the ones no one is tracking. No dashboard measures reputation. No spreadsheet captures trust. No report shows the introduction that happened when your name wasn't in the room. And yet, that's where the real ROI lives. Quiet persistence, loud returns. That's the rule. Most people quit early because they're chasing visible rewards, replies, likes, instant yeses. But the game isn't played on the surface, it's played underneath. You have a choice. You can chase immediate validation, or you can build invisible leverage. That's the key. Persistence compounds in silence, while others stop, while others assume no response means no interest, while others move on because their ego got bruised. You stay, not emotionally, not desperately, strategically. Quiet persistence, loud returns. Here's what's really happening when you persist longer than average. First, you're training the market how to treat you. You're signaling seriousness without saying a word. You're showing consistency without begging for attention. Second, you're creating memory. People forget fast, but patterns stick. Your name showing up with value over time becomes familiar, and familiarity breeds trust. Third, and this is the one no one sees, you're entering rooms you weren't invited into. Conversations happen without you. Decisions get influenced before emails are opened. Introductions happen quietly. That's the ROI no one tracks. You don't need their permission to persist. You don't need a reply to continue showing up with value. You don't need applause. It's not about enthusiasm. It's about discipline. Say it again. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Most people stop because they assume silence means rejection, but silence often means timing, and timing favors the persistent. Let's ground this in reality. A single follow-up changed the trajectory of an entire business. A founder reached out to a blogger, no response. Followed up with value, still nothing. Most people would stop there, but instead of escalating, pitching harder, or disappearing, the founder stayed consistent. Every few months, a short message, a relevant insight, a useful data point, something that made the blogger's work easier. No pressure, no ask. Months later, the blogger replied, not with a favor, with an invitation, a guest post. That single post drove 10 times the founder's usual traffic. It created inbound leads, introductions,
credibility. None of that showed up on day 1 or day 10 or even month 1. It only showed up because someone stayed long enough to be seen. That's the reinforcement phrase. Burn it in. Stay long enough to be seen. You have a choice. You can be intense for 2 weeks and disappear, or you can be calm for 12 months and become inevitable. That's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Professionals understand delayed return. They don't confuse speed with progress. They don't mistake silence for failure. They understand that persistence compounds quietly. Here's where most people get it wrong. They confuse persistence with repetition. Repeating the same message is noise. Repeating value is leverage. Quiet persistence doesn't mean saying the same thing louder. It means saying better things over time. You don't need their permission to follow up with value. You don't need an open door to be useful. You don't need to remind them who you are. You remind them why you matter. That's the key. Now let's make this practical. Here's the tactical drill that turns this from theory into behavior. Maintain a 12-month follow-up calendar. Not for everyone, for your top 50 targets. Clients, partners, media, mentors, gatekeepers. Top 50 only. Why? Because persistence without focus becomes chaos. For each of these 50, you schedule quarterly value drops. Not pitches, not check-ins, value. A useful insight, a relevant article summary, a short observation, a case study, an introduction, a data point that helps them think better. 4 touches per year, 12 months minimum. That's it. You don't chase, you don't hover, you don't vanish. You stay present without pressure. Year-long follow-through. That's the cue. Year-long follow-through. Most people won't do this because it doesn't feel productive. There's no instant reward, no dopamine hit. But this is where the leverage hides. By month 6, your name feels familiar. By month 9, you feel reliable. By month 12, you feel obvious. And when timing shifts, because it always does, you're already there. You don't need their permission to be consistent. You don't need certainty to execute the system. You don't need feedback to keep going. That's the discipline. Remember this, the market doesn't reward intensity, it rewards endurance. Quiet persistence, loud returns. This is the ROI that shows up late and hits hard. Referrals come from people who watched you stay consistent. Reputation comes from people who noticed you didn't disappear. Introductions come from people who trusted you before you asked. And by the time the return arrives, most people have already quit. That's why you win. You stayed. You have a choice. You can optimize for short-term validation, or you can build long-term inevitability. That's the key. Persistence isn't about chasing people, it's about outlasting excuses. And now that you understand how persistence compounds quietly, it's time to talk about the discipline that protects this leverage. You've learned to stay. Next, you must learn when to stop talking.
Chapter 8. Follow-up scripts that convert. Most follow-ups fail for one simple reason. Too many words, too much emotion, too much explaining. People don't ignore follow-ups because they're busy. They ignore them because they're unclear. This is where discipline replaces hope. Words matter. Structure matters. Brevity matters. Say less. Give more. Ask simply. That's the mantra. Most people treat follow-up like a personality test. They write how they feel. They write to be liked. They write to sound smart. That's the flaw. It's not about expression, it's about precision. You have a choice. You can ramble and hope, or you can script and convert. That's the key. High-performing follow-ups aren't creative masterpieces. They're engineered tools. They're designed to do 3 things only: create curiosity, deliver immediate value, make the next step obvious. Anything else is noise. Short wins. Say it again. Short wins. Here's what the data already shows. A simple 3-line follow-up sequence, nothing fancy, outperformed long, thoughtful messages by a wide margin. Reminder, value, deadline. That sequence lifted response rates by 42% in controlled A/B tests. Not because it was clever, because it was respectful. It respected attention, it respected time, it respected decision fatigue. That's why it worked. You don't need their permission to be concise. You don't need to justify your ask with paragraphs. You don't need to explain your entire offer again. That's insecurity talking. It's not about confidence, it's about clarity. Let's break this down. Every converting follow-up script lives in one of 3 categories. If it doesn't fit one of these, it's probably wasting words. Script 1, the reminder. This isn't a nudge, it's a reset. The reminder assumes good intent. It never accuses, it never pressures. It simply brings the conversation back to the surface. Short, neutral, clear. No apologies, no over-context. Example structure. Just resurfacing this in case it slipped past. Happy to close the loop either way. That's it. Notice what's missing. No pitch, no emotion, no guilt. Short wins. Script 2, the value drop. This is where most people mess up. They think value means more words, more explanations, more attachments. Wrong. Value is relevance, not volume. One insight, one data point, one useful observation, delivered cleanly. The value drop doesn't ask for anything first. It earns attention before asking. Example structure. Thought this might be useful. One insight. Let me know if it changes how you're thinking. That's it. No pitch, no CTA overload, no pressure. Say less, give more. Script 3, the breakup. This one scares people. That's why it works. The breakup script removes pressure by removing pursuit. It hands control back to the recipient. And paradoxically, that's what triggers replies. Why? Because clarity feels respectful. Example structure. Looks like timing may not be right. Should this be parked for now or revisited later? That's it. No drama, no threat, no passive aggression. Short wins. You have a choice. You can keep inventing new messages every time, or you can master 3 scripts and deploy them endlessly. That's the key. 3 scripts, endless use. Most people resist scripts because they think scripts feel robotic. They're wrong. Unstructured messages feel emotional. Scripts feel professional. Professionals don't improvise critical actions, they standardize them. Pilots don't freestyle landings. Surgeons don't go with the vibe. High performers don't wing follow-up. It's not about creativity, it's about consistency. Now here's the discipline most people skip: testing. Scripts aren't opinions, they're hypotheses. You test subject lines, you test length, you test timing. Then you keep what works and discard what doesn't. You don't need their permission to test. You don't need consensus. You need data. That's the key. Measure replies, measure speed, measure clarity. And don't confuse silence with failure. Silence is feedback. It tells you too long, too vague, too safe. Adjust, simplify, repeat. Test, measure, repeat. That's the real mantra behind the mantra. Say less, give more, ask simply. Here's a rule that will save you years. If a follow-up can't be read in 5 seconds, it won't be answered. 5 seconds, that's the window. Respect it. Another rule, if the ask isn't obvious, the answer will be later, and later usually means never. Clarity converts, ambiguity delays, short wins. Let's turn this into behavior. Your tactical drill is simple, but non-negotiable. Memorize 3 scripts, not templates sitting in a doc, memorized so you can deploy them without thinking, without emotional editing, without hesitation. The reminder, the value drop, the breakup. 3 scripts, endless use. Use them across email, DMs, text, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. Medium doesn't matter, structure does. Rotate them, track replies, refine language, and never violate the core rule. Say less, give more, ask simply. You have a choice. You can keep typing longer messages hoping sincerity saves you, or you can respect attention and let structure do the work. That's the key. Follow-up isn't about convincing, it's about making the next step easy. And once your words are disciplined, your timing becomes deadly. You've learned how to persist. You've learned how to speak with precision. Now it's time to master the invisible lever that separates amateurs from closers. When to follow up and when not to.
Chapter 9. Scale your follow-up, scale your business. Most businesses don't have a lead problem, they have a follow-up problem. Revenue isn't lost at the top of the funnel, it leaks in the middle. That's where inconsistency lives. That's where execution breaks down. That's where amateurs rely on memory instead of process. Follow-up is repeatable revenue, and anything repeatable can be scaled. That's the truth most people miss. They think scaling means more ads, more content, more leads. Wrong. Scale the sequence, scale the results. You have a choice. You can chase new opportunities endlessly, or you can extract full value from the ones already in front of you. That's the key. Scaling follow-up is not about becoming impersonal. It's about becoming intentional, personal at scale. Let's be clear. One-to-one follow-up caps your growth. It ties revenue to your energy, your mood, your memory. That's fragile. Systems scale. People execute. Tools multiply. Process plus people plus tools equals predictable execution. And predictable execution beats raw talent every time. It's not about hustle, it's about structure. Most founders make the same mistake. They say, I'll scale later. After revenue, after growth, after hiring. But scaling follow-up is how revenue grows in the first place. That's the key. Let's talk about what scaling actually looks like. Scaling does not mean blasting generic messages. Scaling does not mean automation without context. Scaling does not mean losing the human element. Scaling means designing once and executing forever. Here's a real example. A small sales team was stuck. Good product, good leads, inconsistent results. Why? Every rep followed up differently, different timing, different wording, different discipline. So leadership did one thing. They took the best performing follow-up sequence, they turned it into a one-to-many nurture system, and they added personalization rules, name, industry, pain point, stage. That's it. No magic, no fancy tech. The result? Revenue doubled. Not because they worked harder, because they removed randomness. Personal at scale. Say it again. Personal at scale. You don't need their permission to systemize success. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. You need to respect what already works. That's the key. Let's break the myth. Automation doesn't kill relationships. Neglect does. Automation done right creates consistency. Consistency creates trust. Trust creates replies. People don't mind automation, they mind irrelevance. So relevance is your discipline. It's not about volume, it's about timing and fit. Now here's where most scaling attempts fail. No ownership. Everyone assumes someone else is following up, or the system is, or the CRM is. Assumption kills revenue. Scaled follow-up needs clear ownership. Who owns the sequence? Who owns the touch points? Who owns the response? That's not optional. If everyone owns it, no one owns it. That's the key. Now let's make this practical. Your tactical drill is simple but uncomfortable. Map, automate, measure. Map the funnel, not the theoretical funnel, the real one, from first contact to closed deal, from interest to decision. Where do people stall? Where do they ghost? Where do they hesitate? That's where follow-up belongs. Next, identify 3 repetitive touches, not 10, not everything, 3. The ones you send over and over again,
the ones that drain time, the ones that don't need creativity. Automate those. Reminders, education, deadlines. Automation handles repetition so humans can handle nuance. That's leverage. Then assign ownership. Who monitors replies? Who intervenes when signals appear? Who updates the system? No ambiguity. Finally, measure conversion per touch. Not vanity metrics, not opens, not impressions. Conversion. Which touch moves people forward? Which one stalls momentum? Which one should be cut? You don't guess, you measure. Map, automate, measure. Repeat it. Map, automate, measure. That's how scale is built. You have a choice. You can keep treating follow-up like an afterthought, or you can treat it like infrastructure. Infrastructure doesn't excite people, but it holds everything up. That's the key. Here's another truth. Scaling exposes weakness. If your follow-up message doesn't convert one-to-one, it won't magically convert one-to-many. Scale doesn't fix bad messaging, it amplifies it. So discipline comes first, then scale. It's not about speed, it's about stability, and stability compounds. Now let's talk mindset. Scaling follow-up requires letting go of control. That scares people. They want every message to pass through them, every word to sound like them, every decision to involve them. That's ego, and ego caps growth. You don't need their permission to delegate. You don't need to be everywhere. You need the system to show up even when you don't. That's the key. When follow-up scales, something powerful happens. Revenue becomes predictable. Forecasts become real. Growth becomes repeatable. No more spikes and droughts. No more emotional roller coasters. Execution becomes boring, and boring is profitable. Say it again, boring is profitable. Now connect this back to the core theme. Talent doesn't scale, effort doesn't scale, hope doesn't scale, follow-up does. Consistent execution beats potential every time, and when execution is systematized, the business stops depending on luck. You have a choice. You can stay small and busy, or you can scale the sequence and scale the results. That's the key. You've learned how to persist. You've learned how to script. You've learned how to systematize. Now it's time to confront the internal resistance that sabotages all of it. The voice that says, "I don't want to be annoying." That voice costs millions. Next chapter, we destroy it. Chapter 10, Commitment over Talent, the final truth. Talent opens doors. Commitment closes the building. That's the final truth. Talent gets attention. Talent gets compliments. Talent gets opportunities, but commitment gets results. Follow-up is not a personality trait. It's not charisma. It's not confidence. It's a daily habit. And habits beat talent every time. Say it again. Habits beat talent every time. You have a choice. You can keep believing talent will save you, or you can commit to the discipline that actually pays. That's the key. Most people overestimate talent and underestimate commitment. They see someone winning and assume brilliance. They assume connections. They assume luck. They don't see the follow-ups. They don't see the reminders. They don't see the quiet persistence. But that's where the win happened. Follow-up is where ability turns into achievement. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about how gifted you are. It's not about how smooth you sound. It's about how consistent you act. Consistent beats clever. That's not motivational. That's mathematical. Let's be honest. Talent without follow-through is potential wasted. Talent without discipline is noise. Talent without commitment is a story that never finishes. You don't need their permission to outwork them. You don't need approval to be consistent. You don't need validation to follow up again. That's the key. The marketplace doesn't reward promise. It rewards execution. And execution is boring. It's repetitive. It's unglamorous. It's invisible. That's why most people avoid it. They want recognition without repetition, results without routine,
wins without work. That's the flaw. It's not about intelligence, it's about discipline. Here's the pattern you'll see over and over. Entrepreneurs with modest skills outperform naturals, not because they're better, but because they stayed longer. They followed up when it was uncomfortable. They checked back when others quit. They kept the conversation alive. Relentless follow-up built dominant niches. Not talent, not genius, commitment. Consistent beats clever. Say it again. Consistent beats clever. Talent is a spark, commitment is fuel, and sparks die fast without fuel. That's the key. Now let's confront the lie that ruins most people. I'll do it when I feel ready. That sentence kills momentum. Ready is a feeling, commitment is a decision. You don't wait to feel committed. You commit, then act. That's how momentum is built. You have a choice. You can keep waiting for motivation, or you can build discipline that doesn't need it. Discipline shows up tired. Discipline shows up bored. Discipline shows up anyway. That's the difference. Follow-up doesn't care how you feel. It cares whether you did the work, and the work compounds. One follow-up feels small. 30 days feels massive. That's how businesses are built, quietly, daily, relentlessly. Now let's strip this down to behavior. No philosophy, no inspiration, action. Your final tactical drill is simple and brutal. The 30-day follow-up challenge. For the next 30 days, identify your top 10 targets, clients, prospects, partners, opportunities. Every single day, send one structured follow-up to each. Not random, not emotional, structured. Reminder, value, next step. That's it. 10 follow-ups a day, 30 days straight. No skipping, no batching excuses, no "I'll catch up tomorrow." This is commitment. Log it, track it, do it. You don't need their permission to be disciplined. You don't need applause to stay consistent. You need to keep your word to yourself. That's the key. What will happen? Some won't reply. Some will say no. Some will surprise you. But here's what will definitely happen. You will change. Your resistance will shrink. Your confidence will harden. Your execution will sharpen. Follow-up will stop feeling heavy. It will feel normal. And when discipline becomes normal, results follow. That's the final truth. Talent didn't build this. Commitment did. Follow-up is the habit that separates dreamers from operators, talkers from closers, potential from profit. You have a choice. You can leave this audiobook inspired, or you can leave committed. Inspiration fades, commitment compounds. That's the key. If this isn't discipline, nothing is. Commit, then conquer. This is the rule. Talent opens, follow-up closes. Do the small thing again and again until the world stops ignoring you. Build a system. Repeat the sequence. Add value. Track every contact. Don't be clever, be consistent. The next 30 days will decide the next 12 months. Right now, pick 3 targets. Send the next follow-up to each within the hour. Do it again tomorrow. Do it the day after. Follow-up wins, follow-up wins, follow-up wins. Now, take the challenge. Commit to the 30-day follow-up plan and report back in the comments. If this pushed you forward, like the video, subscribe to Mindshift Audiobooks for more ruthless, repeatable strategies, and turn on notifications so the habit sticks. Go, follow up, win.